Hello and welcome to the internet. I'm your host, Detractor Media. I'm going to get straight into it. I think I say that every time. Phil did an interview on the Truth Seekers that I think he thought was going to be a softball interview. He thought that the guy was going to kiss his ass the way that Kino Casino does. It ended up being a lot more like, from what I've heard, I haven't watched it yet. It ended up being a lot more like his interview with Side Scrollers than it did with Kino Casino. I haven't watched this. We're going to watch it together. I'm really excited about this because I watched Duty talk about it. I watched a little bit James the Lesser talk about it as well. Looks like he took a huge L on this. So I'm stoked to watch it. Let's go. Shout out to Snort Hogan. I always forget. Shout out Snort Hogan for the video.
The whole thing was fabricated by my detractors. I don't even know what information they got or who they got it from, but it wasn't me. Like, they'd be like, what about the bank leaks and what about this and that? I'm like, what about them? Did you analyze them? Can you show them on stream? Can you prove that those are real?
And just so you're aware, Phil, I did analyze them and I can show them on stream right now and prove that they're real. I don't believe that you've been honest about the bank leaks. I think you lied about a lot.
Oh shit, hold on. Holy shit.
Prove that they're real. I don't believe that you've been honest about the bank leaks. I think you lied about a lot of that because it's in your benefit to lie. You don't want your detractors to know how much you've been spending on gin and wine.
Oh, I'm so excited. God damn, I'm so excited about this. Okay, I'm going to shut up.
And DoorDash and a WWE game.
Why would it matter?
Oh, let's get to the bank leaks, especially. You say they're fake.
Hold on.
Phil,
why would it matter?
In order for them to be fake, the person that faked them would have to know what kind of car you drive, who your internet service provider is, who your electric company was, who your garbage company was, what their monthly charge was at the time of the bank leaks for people living in your area at the time of those leaks. They'd have to know what restaurants you eat at and when you ate at them. They'd have to know when and where your wife gets haircuts. They'd have to know what your local water company was and what you pay them every month. They'd have to know when you go to Burger King. They'd have to know when you go out to eat, when you do DoorDash, when and where you go grocery shopping, how much your back tax payments are, what your mortgage company is and how much you pay that every month, how much you're making on YouTube. They'd have to know how much you're making on Twitch, what accounting firm you use, and what they're charging you. The odds of somebody knowing all that information, it's like it would
pause. I'm not going to pause it very much. I'm going to pause it as little as I can. Watch chat. Keep in mind, this is Phil's chat. This is Kick. This is his YouTube. These are his fans, his dents. Just keep an eye on chat as you're hearing Steve doing the Lord's work. Like I said, I'm going to try not to pause it a bunch of times. I know I'm really fucking bad about that, and this is going to be a long one, so get your popcorn. But keep an eye on right here on Kick Chat, and keep an eye right here on YouTube Chat. I'm stoked. Wow, get your popcorn. Let's fucking go, boy. Alonzi.
Take a 007 CIA operative to fake these. Phil, you don't see that. Do you understand that there's direct correlation? You say I went to Burger King and the Burger King charge is there on that day or the day before. You say I'm getting a haircut. 8 times somebody caught you saying you're getting a haircut, and those haircuts are on the bank leaks. And do you understand that the person that did that is a retired police officer? The person that found that information is a retired police officer. I think he's called Broside Phil.
Oh, I don't know.
No shit. Is he about to bring Broside Phil on? Oh my god. This is fantastic. Oh my god.
They'd have to know all of this information. In order to fake them, it would take like a team of people. And here's the other thing.
Okay.
Do you understand that like people can track things down? So
sure.
you know where those leaks came from, right? They came from an audio recording of somebody who socially engineered on their telephone basically calling an online teller at your bank and listing off all of the charges for that whole 18-month period. And here's what I found out in the course of my investigation. Let's just take a listen.
September 13th, a pre-authorized payment of $120.27 from Comcast. On September 13th, a pre-authorized payment of $112.28 from Apple iTunes. On September 13th.
All right, so it's enough to say that somebody sat on a telephone for 5 hours. Now, I went through the first 5 hours of it. It matches the bank leaks 100%. And I also contacted the bank. This is the online teller at the time. That's the voice they use. So for somebody to fake this, they would have to have the software development kit for the telephony for this bank software and the text to speech that's used in this. They'd need the software development kit. Do you know what that costs?
No, I don't know what that costs.
It costs tens of thousands of dollars. Somebody would have had to spend tens of thousands of dollars to fake this 5-hour phone call with your online bank teller, Phil. You don't think that sounds like overwhelming evidence that they're real? You mean to tell me one of your detractors spent 10 grand on a software development kit?
Are you going to let me respond now?
Okay, well, let's hear it.
So you're saying that you heard this clip, this 5-hour clip that supposedly someone recorded off of some phone line, and this is 100% indisputable evidence that it's true. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that I went through and somebody really did sit on this online teller and then transcribe every charge to a spreadsheet. It matches this 5-hour recording. Do you know the time it would take somebody to first fake this recording? And then again, they'd have to know everything you spend money on. And all of these charges that are near your house. Did you know that all the charges are within just a few miles of your house? And that correlates perfectly to, being right near your house. Here's a perfect example. I've redacted as much as I can.
Not the map. He's busting out the map. God damn. Yeah, he would have to go through and somebody would have to go through and code the entire system that they would use, they use for the bank leaks for the call. Somebody would have to go through and, like he said, there's really not a lot of commentary for me to add here. Dude's killing it. Like, bro, it's cooking. They would have to go through and spend tens of thousands of dollars on this software and set it up to do all this bank leak stuff, record it, then transcribe it, and then sync it to your bank account. Like, Phil, you're dead in the water, brother. You're dead in the water. He got you. You're fucked. Like, you're fucked. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of commentary, so I probably won't be talking very much. I'm just gonna let the man speak. Let the man cook. You know what I mean? Let him cook, man.
We already know this. Everyone already knows this, but go ahead.
This is the supermarket. This is the supermarket where you shop. It's 3 miles from your house. 4 miles. I'm sorry. And this is the discount store. This one's 3.1 miles. 3.4 miles. I don't know. It's a few miles from your house. And I was able to do this mapping with over 40 of the charges. The Petco, the place where you get your hair cut. It's all within a few miles of your house. And there's correlations where you said things on stream like, I'm going to get a haircut today. Those charges are there. And in the case of the Burger King, they would have had to know the day before you said you were going to Burger King because that payment, that.
Hold on. I just want to highlight a comment. Real quick.
A haircut today. Those charges are there. And in the case of the Burger King, they would have had to know.
Right here. You fucked up agreeing to this. I just saw that and had to bring a little bit of attention to how much not only this Steven fella, who I don't know, but like big ups though, not only how hard he's roasting this clown, Again, this is Phil's chat to the best of my knowledge. This is his Kick. This is his YouTube. They're roasting him. They're probably full of detractors, but I'm so glad y'all are here for this. I'm so glad y'all are here for this. This is amazing. It's amazing.
The day before, you said you were going to Burger King because that was the day before. You know, it's virtually impossible for somebody to fake these, in my opinion. I've got 40 correlations. These are all stores and locations all right near your home in this course of this 18 months. You mean to tell me that some crazy evil genius figured out how to fake a 5-hour teller call and then put it all on spreadsheets as well? It's all fake. Look at the spreadsheet. Okay. It correlates to the audio recordings. 100%. So and look at this. You're telling me somebody faked all this? This isn't you?
I'm still waiting for you to finish so I could respond.
I'm not finished, so respond so far, and I got more for you. I got a lot more for you, Phil. You can either admit that the bank leaks are real and those are your charges, or you can continue to lie to your viewers and everybody else. It's up to you. I told you about that road to redemption. So come on. What are we going to do here?
So are you done now, or do you have more to say about the bank leaks? I'll respond to all of it when you're done.
Well, the reason that people are so upset, you could see in these charts, it shows that you spent more on transactions most month than your mortgage payment while you're begging your audience for money for your bills.
That wasn't my question. My question is, are you done talking about the bank leaks so that I can respond and we can move on?
No, yeah, I can show you more evidence.
But you're not disputing it. You're not disputing what he just fucking said. You're spending more money on transactions. I'm yelling. Let me calm down. Let me not cook so much. You're not denying what he just said, that most months you were spending more money on transactions, greasy transactions for a mobile game than you were for your own mortgage. You weren't disputing that, Phil. He said it. What did you do? You tried to move on. Because you know it's fucking true. Think about that. Let me gather myself here, boy. I was heated. Think about that. He's spending more money on these transactions, these greasy mobile transactions, than he's spending on his lease, on his mortgage. Think about that. Just give us some thought.
I could show you more evidence. All right.
I'm just waiting for you to be done, and then I'll respond, because there's no.
All right, I'll show you. All right, then fine. I'll show you some more evidence, and you can try to explain all of this away. The haircuts. The haircuts, Phil. The haircuts. Mm-hmm. The haircuts ruin your grift. The haircuts ruin your grift, and here's why. Curls and twirls. Is that your wife, Phil?
No.
On the website, you're going to say that's not her?
Oh shit!
Do I got to get a facial recognition expert?
Come on, Phil. Shut the fuck up. Come on, Phil. Come on. Bro got a picture of your fucking wife and the recent haircut she got. Bro, you cooked. You cooked. You know that's her. You know that's your horse wife. You know that's her. You know it is, man. You cooked. Bro's cooked. I can't believe this. Man.
That's her?
I don't think that's her.
Where did you get your haircut, Phil? Where did you get your haircut?
I'm not going to tell you, because then people are going to harass
You can't tell me because you get your haircut at Curls and Twirls.
Did you hear what I just said?
Your wife's on the website, Phil.
Steve, are you listening to what I'm saying? Did you hear what I just said?
You said you can't tell me because your detractors will use it against you.
That's not what I said at all.
Well, tell me again.
You got to calm down. Listen. I get it. I do. You're excited. You think you got me on something. It's all good. And I'm actually
I got you, Phil. I got you. I haven't even started on these bank leaks. There's a mountain of evidence that it's you.
Steve, I want you to understand something. All right? At the end of the day, when we're done here, I'm not going to be upset with you at all. I want you to understand that, okay? All right? Because you're getting very agitated. You're talking over me. You still haven't even let me respond yet to what you're saying. I've been asking, and you keep going. All right? I can't say where I get my hair cut, because if I tell you, they will harass the person who cuts my hair. Do you understand that? They'll find them. They'll still fuck with their public
All right.
information.
So can you show me the receipts?
We won't. Who is going to go to the stable, where your little horse wife gets her hair cut and bother the person that cuts your hair? Nobody cares, Phil. Nobody's going to fucking do that. And you know they're not. You're just not going to say it because you know if you admit that this Curls and Twirls place is where she gets your hair cut, then then it syncs up with your bank statements and you're fucking lying. You know you're caught. You know you're fucking caught. It's crazy. Bro went to the website, found a picture of Cat, and like saved that shit to his computer. Like, bro's playing 3D chess. Man.
Where you get your hair cut during the bank leaks period that wasn't Curls and Twirls then, privately?
Steve. Okay.
That's the problem.
Number
Your
one.
detractors have receipts. You don't have any receipts, Phil. You have excuses and lies and
no
obfuscation. You're trying to keep the grift going. I get it. Because if people know for sure those bank leaks are yours, nobody will give you money ever again. Because you begged for money to pay your bills and you spent it on stupid shit.
Hold on. The only thing that I wish, I just had to turn it down. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use any of this because he is screaming down the microphone. If there's one thing I wish with this, I wish he wouldn't have fucking screamed the whole time. Like, you're peaking your audio, you're peaking my audio, just recording you. Like, so I don't know if I'm going to even be able to use any of this. We'll see. And I might can salvage it, but the way he's screaming and it hurts my ears just listening to it. I think he fucked the audio up. I don't think it's going to be anything that I can even use because my audio on OBS is red all the way to the side. So we'll see if this is even usable, but if so, that's cool. If not, I had fun watching it. I'm glad you're here either way, even if you don't see this and this doesn't matter. Okay.
Can I ask you a question quickly?
Yeah.
How do you expect to get anything out of the show if you won't let me talk? Like, I'm trying to talk to you and you keep yelling over me.
Well, you keep telling me that I got to show you more evidence. I've already showed you a mountain of evidence.
I didn't say
you can't
that.
Explain. You can't explain this.
I didn't say you have to show me any more evidence. I said, can I respond now, or are you going to keep going? Because obviously, I'm going to give my answer, and then we can move on to something else. Or unless this is all you had was the bank leaks. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I've got an awful lot more, but so, jeez. Phil, the problem is that you're not willing to answer the question.
There's no problem. Excuses. You haven't even let me say a word yet. You kept yelling. I'm trying to answer. Can I give my response?
Yeah.
All right.
Why are the bank leaks fake? Explain it to me. And why is there all the correlations?
Let me say this. I'm trying to do you a solid with this appearance. I really am. I'm hoping that you're going to get a nice boost of attention on your content because of this. I do. You're going to have an issue having future guests come on your show if you yell at people like this. You understand? Like,
I'm not yelling at you. I'm not yelling at you.
Oh, you absolutely have been yelling at me. And I'm not, just so you know, I'm not upset. All right. But you are very agitated.
Oh, well, then I apologize. I get agitated when people talk circles and they don't answer the questions.
Okay.
And make excuses. You're making excuses. You're not answering the question. I'll let you answer, but let's go. I got more to show you.
Okay. So, in regards to everything that you just presented, okay, have you actually yourself called supposedly this phone line and heard all of that to confirm that it's real at all?
Oh, that's an unreasonable request. I've confirmed that was the bank teller voice during the periods that this was made.
You don't have to say if it's reasonable. You don't have to say if it's reasonable. You just have to answer.
Okay, so I didn't commit a federal crime to get this evidence. Therefore, I'm not qualified to talk about it. Is that what you're saying?
It's not that you're not qualified.
And I agree with you. It's a federal crime. I don't condone what they did, but the information is out there. I got to use it.
So can you, within a shadow of a doubt, confirm that information is actually real?
I believe so. Yes.
So you're saying you can confirm it?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
How?
Because of the correlations between things you mentioned on your show, charges.
That's not what I'm asking. That's not what I've asked at all. I'm not asking you if you think that could be my information. I'm saying, can you confirm that call?
Well, not 100%, but the preponderance of the evidence can confirm.
There you go. You can't confirm it's real, right? Why can't you confirm it? Because it was obtained through a federal crime. You understand that? So you don't know if it's real or not. So why do you think
No,
he was doing that?
I have a reasonable suspicion based on available evidence that it's real.
That's fair enough.
Here you are
Oh,
crying
no, no,
about
no, no,
Burger
no, no, no,
King.
no, no. We're not done yet. We're
Here
not
you
done
are
yet.
crying about Burger King, and
Steve,
there's a Burger King charge at the same time on the bank leaks. Is that a
Steve,
coincidence? You tell me.
I'm trying to answer you, and you're already moving on and talking over me. Do you understand why you're going to have a hard time getting guests moving forward if you
I'm
act
not.
like
I
this?
don't have a hard time getting guests because I don't really. Yeah, I don't. I
I'm
do
trying
most
to
of my shows solo. I don't care if I have a hard time getting guests.
I'm trying to be reasonable with
You
you. I'm
came
trying to
here.
work
You
with
came
you.
here tonight to clear some things up. I thought I'm trying to help you
No,
find that road to
actually,
redemption, and you're just
no,
obfuscating, and
that's not what I'm here for at all. I'm here because you asked me to come on the show, and you said that you wanted to talk about my past as a creator. You
We
wanted
did.
to bring up some of the things that my detractors have said, and
We
you said
did.
it would be about 90 minutes to about 2 hours, and I agreed, and that was it,
Oh,
right?
you're gonna run already? Come on.
I'm not. What are you talking about? Who's running? I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, come on. All right. Well, I'm gonna ask you to
There are
respond to
entries
this.
in the bank.
I'm gonna ask you to
But I'm
respond
not.
to this.
But we're not done yet. I'm still.
Well,
not done
I'm still
answering.
showing you the overwhelming evidence. There's overwhelming evidence that the bank leaks are real, and you say you want to
Okay.
address it. So let's go through this video,
No.
and you tell me where it's wrong.
Okay, hold
There
on.
are entries in the bank
Why
leaks
do we have
for
to?
beauty
Can you please
slash
pause the
personal
video
hygiene.
so I can respond?
Yeah.
I want to talk, but you still haven't let me even finish a single answer yet. Okay? So let me follow what I have to say, and then you can do whatever you want. All right? You just admitted you cannot actually verify that call is real. You have great reason and suspicion to accept it or think that it's real, but you can't 100% prove it.
I believe a judge and jury would agree with me
That's
in
fine,
a court of law.
but you can't prove it, correct?
Nothing can be proved 100%. You're right, but the
Okay.
correlations.
Now,
Phil, eight
No.
times on your show you talked about getting a haircut, and the charges are there at the appropriate dates. That's a coincidence? That's all a coincidence.
dude, you're doing it again. You're talking and screaming over the guest instead of having a conversation.
You're not answering the questions. You're talking in circles and making excuses.
I'm giving my answer. You still haven't let me finish. Okay? You still haven't let me finish. I've given my side of this story of what it is. I don't know if your viewers are actually interested in what my side of the story is or not, because as you can tell, we're not really even talking about what I said. It's just you're just 100% convinced that it's real. So I don't think
based on an exhaustive investigation, yes.
Right.
And one of the reasons that I'm sure that some of your detractors are right is because number one, they bring receipts, and number two, the hallmark of a great researcher is that somebody could go after that researcher and find the same information and say, okay, that researcher did a good job, because I found the same thing. I went after this researcher on Pig Go, and they're 100% right. You talk about getting a haircut, it's on the bank leaks. How did these people know every time you talked about getting a haircut in an 18-month period, 8 times? And 8 for 8, it's on the bank leaks when you talked about it on your show, getting a haircut.
Okay. Are you done? Can I keep responding with my answer now?
I'm trying to get you to answer. Yeah.
I'm trying to answer, but you keep yelling over me every time I try. All right. Just let me say what I have to say then. You cannot confirm it's real, but you believe it is real based on all this circumstantial evidence. Fair enough.
I believe everybody that doesn't have a mental deficiency would believe it's real. Yeah.
Fair enough. So, fair enough. I can't change your mind. There's no reason to argue with anything, right? Why would I sit here and say, well, here's what it really is? There's no point. No matter what I do, I'm not going to convince you otherwise, correct? Now, I will say this. Whether or not it's real or not doesn't matter. If it is real, all it means is that I was an idiot who spent a lot of money like a moron very frivolously, and I made lots of mistakes, right? But
don't you think it'd be better to just admit that and move on than this
let me
keep coming
continue.
up?
You got to let me finish. You got to stop talking over the guest. So
We're having a conversation. I'm not talking over you.
I'm trying. I'm just trying to finish my statement. I lose track of my thought when you interrupt me like that, Steve. Just so you know. And again, I'm not angry. I get it, but please let me finish my train of thought here. Okay.
All right.
So even if every single thing in those bank leaks are absolutely positively true, all it means is that I was very irresponsible with my money. I was in a bad financial situation.
No, it would mean you committed fraud. Sorry to interrupt you again. That's what it would mean. All right.
All it would mean is that
you committed fraud.
In what way? Because I
you told everybody that you needed because you told everybody that you needed money for one thing and you spent it on other things. That's a form of consumer fraud to some people's minds.
Wait, what? So let me get this straight. You think that if someone is on a stream and says, contribute to my stream because I need money
to pay my mortgage.
Okay. And then they actually
spent $40,000 on a mobile game. Yeah.
Okay, but that's not what happened. Even if the bank leaks are real, that's not what happened at all, right? I will tell you this, Steve. Anytime that I went out of my way and I said, hey, I really need help with something, it actually was truthful, okay? Were there times, like I got caught out on this during my documentary by June the King, where he outright said, now, wait a minute, I have a stream where you said you needed money for this, but are you admitting that you spent money on something else at the same time? And I said, yes, I'm admitting that. But the money always went to what it had to go to first, and then it would go to other things as well. All right. I'm not going to tell you if I said, hey guys, I need money to pay my mortgage tomorrow. Can you help me out? And I got that money, that I didn't also buy a sandwich. You know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous. Now, you're saying $40,000 spent. Again, who even knows? Where they get these numbers from? I don't know what number that even means. If that means in a year, if that means forever. Have I spent money on mobile games? Yes, I've admitted that publicly. I've spent thousands upon thousands of dollars on mobile games. All right. I've very carelessly treated my money over the years. That's why I ended up in the bankruptcy. That's why I was living paycheck to paycheck, stream to stream. Okay. But I never outright came on a stream and said, I need this, raised it, and then ran and spent it on something else directly. What you're implying here is that I'm like some kind of a degenerate gambler who would say, I need the money, and then I would go.
A lot of people are addicted to games. It's not something to be ashamed of.
I know. God, Steve, I've talked about this, about my past, that actually before this WWE Champions thing, I was actually way more addicted to a different game called WWE Supercard and Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. That those two, I was actually spending way more on than I ever spent on WWE.
Moron. You're losing them, Steve. You're losing them.
Champions. Okay, so I know all about the addictive nature of overspending and all of that, and I have publicly admitted I've done it.
All right, okay? Phil, can we go through the haircut evidence and then you tell me what you think of it?
Steve,
can we do that? Can we just go through it?
Now, how about I just finish my answer, okay? And then we
You've been finishing your answer for 10 minutes here.
It doesn't matter if the blank leaks are real or not. I'm telling you my perspective. I've already.
Do you understand it matters to your audience? It matters to the internet.
Steve. I've explained this to you already.
Phil, if you're begging for money constantly and you spent 40 grand on a mobile game, that matters. You're telling people you don't have money to buy food and you spent 40 grand on a mobile game, that matters. It goes directly to your integrity.
What are you talking about? You literally, so here's the problem. You are completely extrapolating the situation. You're acting like on one stream I said I need money for groceries, and then immediately I took all that money and spent it on a mobile game. That never happened. Never.
It did. There's well-documented proof that happened on multiple occasions. There's tons of proof that he raised money for something and then didn't spend the money on that. He spent it on something else. Hogan's. There's plenty of proof of it. You've done this so many times. There's proof of it. It's easily Googleable. It's all there.
I asked for money for something. I spent it on what I needed it for. And then maybe I spent money on other stuff as well. That has nothing to do with, he blew it all on the mobile game. That's why he needed more money. No, that's ridiculous.
Well, mobile game, DoorDash, gin,
there
wine.
You go. So what you're implying then is anyone who ever asks for support on a stream can only directly spend it on responsible things. And you have to be policed what the person spends the money on. That is so false. That is such a fallacy.
You don't want to address the correlation. There's 20, 30 of them, Steve, where you talked about something and it's on the bank leaks. It's on the bank leaks.
Which we can't verify are real.
You talked about 8 haircuts and 8 times it's on the bank leaks. Let's get into this.
Which
Since we have a control, that being Phil's hair, we can see if Phil got a trim around the times in which beauty and personal hygiene were logged.
Steve,
the oldest entry is October 14th, 2020.
You're wasting your time.
If you're unfamiliar with the banking industry,
I guess
sometimes a charge will post and clear the same day, or it may take 1 to 3 days. So, anyway, using PigGo, I found this from October 12th.
Oh my goodness. At the same time, I gotta go grocery shopping. We have appointments we have to get to. I'll enjoy the haircut. I'm gonna get a haircut.
I'm gonna get a haircut.
Just starting to get long.
This implies the day off was tomorrow, October 13th, and the charge cleared October 14th. We have a total of 8 haircuts in the leaks. So far, we're 1 of 8. The next cut is logged December 9th, and here's Phil on December 7th.
That's right, and I'm getting a haircut. You're absolutely right, Salvano Face. Remember, I'm getting a haircut as well tomorrow. So a super busy day for me.
2 down, 6 to go. The
2
next log,
haircuts.
January
Match the
20,
bank
2021.
Steve,
Here's
we get
Phil
the point.
on January 18th.
We don't have to see the other 6.
Grocery shopping,
Steve,
pet
we
shopping.
get the point.
But this is what I'm talking about. Receipts.
Trying to get my haircut tomorrow.
Here's receipts.
Logged March
They
3rd,
match the bank
and
leaks.
Phil on March
Public
3rd.
statements
I guess
match the
zoomed
bank
out.
leaks, Phil.
I did get a haircut. It's much closer now than it was, like much closer to the head. Because it's spring, I decided to get a much shorter haircut.
Logged April 8th, and here's Phil on April 5th. Oh,
Are we going
and
to
by
talk
the
about
way,
anything else?
7th,
or
that's
we just gonna
Wednesday.
watch the
But yeah, the
haircut
thing is,
montage?
this Wednesday,
It's only
we
a
got
few
some things
minutes.
we're doing.
It's
Like
only
we're
2
doing, we're
minutes.
getting haircuts.
We're halfway through.
Logged May 11th, Phil on May 9th.
My wife and I are going to probably go grab some food, but then we have to get haircuts.
Oh,
Logged
look at
July
that.
15th, Phil on the exact same date.
Now that the headphones are off, you probably can't see it that well. I got a very close haircut all around the sides and the back. The top's still kind of long.
And lastly, August 18th, and here is Phil on August 18th.
A lot of people are noticing my shorter haircut, which is very comfy, by the way.
There's another
Perfect
one.
time for it.
Matches the
Summer
bank
here.
leaks.
You know, I want to cool down. It's been so hot recently.
Based on this data, from a logical standpoint, it appears that those beauty charges coincide with every day that Phil got his haircut. This now changes our question or challenges our previous outcome. What used to be the transactions on the recording were Phil's, the transactions on the recording were fabricated, or the transactions on the recording belonged to somebody else, must now become 1. The transactions on the recording were Phil's, which coincide with the data found in the bank leaks. 2. The transactions on the recording were fabricated, and the person who fabricated it either accurately guessed when Phil was going to get a haircut or knew when he got a haircut. Or 3. The transactions on the recording are from an account which the person who leaked the transactions knew would be utilized by a person getting their haircut at the same time as Phil. Of the 3, which 2 can Occam's razor cut out? But there's more to it than that. In the restaurant's transaction, there's an entry for Maggie's on Meeker. This is not a chain restaurant. And
The
is only
restaurant
located in
visits
Keith,
match the bank
Washington,
leaks.
which just
They're
so
public
happens to be
statements.
6.6 miles from Phil's residence.
Match the bank
This
leaks.
means that if the transactions are fraudulent, the person creating the fraudulent logs knew to include a restaurant that DSP had frequented in the past, and if they are of another person, that person must live within the same confines or general area as Phil.
Yeah. So, come on, Phil. 8 out of 8 times they accurately guessed when you were getting a haircut and put it on those bank leaks, and they made the fake recording of the teller talking about the haircuts.
Yes. Not guess, but they already know because they talk about it publicly on every stream. That's what I mean. Like, what you're seeing is all stuff that was public. You understand that? Like, everything that's in those leaks is public information because I'm on a stream.
So
every day.
somebody like what logs everything that you say and then put it all on the bank leaks. Like when you say you're getting a haircut, when you say you're getting DoorDash, when you say you're going to Burger King, when you say you're going out to eat, when you say you're going grocery shopping, they knew 100%. And by the way, I said the hallmark of a good researcher is when somebody goes after him. I checked the clips. He's accurate. This person is accurate, and he's a retired law enforcement officer. I think he goes by Broside Phil. This guy's a retired cop. He's not qualified to investigate this and come to a conclusion that the bank leaks are accurate.
Who said that? I didn't say that.
So how did somebody get this all so right? All those bank leaks so right?
Because it's
watched you,
all
and they
public
faked a
info.
5-hour bank teller call, and then they made these spreadsheets.
The
They
spreadsheet.
did all
no, hold
that
on, hold on.
just to.
The spreadsheet
By the way,
is based
do you
off
know
the
what the
call.
story is? That this is
now
the
you're
person.
interrupting me again.
But let me just get this out. The person, the lore that I got is that the person who did this, and I don't condone somebody committing a crime to so-called get you or prove that you're lying about money or spending money on stupid shit. I don't condone that, but the information is there. But the lore is that this person used to be a supporter of yours. They got tired of you lying to your audience, and they wanted to check you, and that's why they did this.
Okay.
Did you also know that Did you also know that you were caught lying a great deal about the police investigation and all of that stuff? You were caught lying.
The police investigation of what?
You lied about when you talked to the police, because people did the same. Retired law enforcement officer did FOIA requests, which prove you lied in that Side Scrollers interview. 100% proves you lied about all of this
I
bank
have
leak
no
stuff.
idea what you're talking about.
You 100%. Well, I
what
got a
police
video, but
investigation?
joining us to talk about this is
investigation.
our retired law enforcement officer friend whose work I checked, and I also verified his FOIA request and spoke to the local police to verify what he did was accurate.
Can we press pause for a second so we can talk about stuff? Like, you're just throwing insane amounts of stuff out here, right?
It's called evidence. You don't have any. We have lots to get through. But that's the problem.
Steve, listen to me. Please listen to me. All you're doing is throwing things, right? I try to respond, and as I'm responding, you move on to something else. That's not actually a conversation, nor is that considered any way a fair shake. I would like to respond, but every time I'm trying, you yell over me and you move on and you play a 2-minute video and there's nothing here that I can do because you won't actually talk. You're already moving on to something else. I'm like, wait, what police investigation?
Because you haven't adequately explained the correlations. Yeah, you're right. But you lied about when you said that you talked to them previously and they said they would only investigate human trafficking. You lied about that. Our retired law enforcement officer friend here, he's here. And
wait a minute. That's not what are you talking about?
He spoke to the
oh shit. Hold on, what? He brought Broside Phil on? Oh my. Yes! Oh, this is awesome.
Detective that you talked to. You said in the Side Scrollers interview that sometime prior to the bank leaks, you didn't file a police report. By the way, your bank would have. Did you know my wife, I mentioned she was an accountant. Do you know what she did? She worked in the fraud department at Beneficial Savings Bank for 20 years. And she told me that you, Phil, said that these people got access to multiple of your accounts. The bank itself is required by federal law and banking regulations to file a police report. Our retired law enforcement officer friend filed the FOIAs. The bank didn't file any fraud reports. They're required by law to do so. So if you talk to the bank, if you talk to the bank and said somebody got access to my account illegally, they would have filed the appropriate police reports, talked to the detectives, and followed up on that. They didn't. And you lied. You lied about when you said the police only investigate human trafficking or something.
No, hold on.
We've got another video for that. We've got another video for the FOIAs proving you lied.
Wait.
I got the drip going. 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 I got the drip.
Is that it? Why does it just cut off randomly right there? Okay, so apparently it's a 2-part series. So this is just the first part. I didn't add much commentary because there wasn't much to give. Dude kind of lost him in the latter half. He was talking over him a lot. He was peaking his audio. He was overly aggressive, which gave Phil a little bit of an ability to play victim. I don't think a whole lot of people saw through that, but his dents probably will. You use that same talking point that Phil used, that you keep talking over me, you're yelling, you're being very overly emotional. But there's a second part to this, and I'll probably post the second part as well, because I'm really invested now that oh my god, I'm really invested now that Broside Phil is actually in the call. I didn't know he was gonna actually really bring him into this, so I'm invested. I'll definitely watch the second part. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for watching. The next part will probably be up pretty soon. I'll probably watch it immediately after this. We cut both of these together and post them in the next couple of days. Thank you guys for watching. Thank y'all for being here. I'll see you next time. I've been your host, Attractive Media. Bye-bye.
Do what gives you pleasure